Let's listen in. This is Andre Davis, City Solicitor,
agencies and
reacting.
departments of city government that were already underway, but as well examining and exploring opportunities for new initiatives to move the city forward. I understand that his staff is in touch with the governor, with elected officials and others to arrange a formal swearing-in ceremony for next week. But of course, he is the mayor as of this moment. He became the mayor by operation of law upon the city's acceptance of Catherine Pugh's resignation. Obviously, I cannot speak for the city council, but I think most of you are probably aware that the next step in restoring stable leadership to the city is that the city council will hold an election for a new president. In the meantime, Councilwoman Middleton will continue to serve in the role of president until a new president of the city council is elected, and she will continue to serve in the role of president of the Board of Estimates until a new city council president is elected. Again, I can't speak for the city council and would never try to do so, but it's my expectation that the election of the new president of the city council is certainly at least a week off. The citizens and residents of Baltimore need some time to process what has happened and perhaps to express some views about who should occupy the seat as president of City Council. While this will not be a popular vote, of course, it is exclusively the prerogative of the elected City Council people to choose their next president. My suspicion is that most, if not all of them, will want to hear from their constituents and from people around the city as to what is the next step for the city council. That would be consistent, of course, with the commitment to transparency and good government that many of the city council members, indeed all of the city council members, have talked about for a good while. So as I say, I anticipate a week or two before the election of the new city council president actually takes place, but it's entirely up to the city council itself as to the timing for that. Former Mayor Pugh's connection with the city is now completely terminated. There are no further connections to the city between Mayor Pugh and the city. You will no doubt see very quickly, with all respect to Catherine Pugh, the disappearance of her portraits around city buildings. You will notice, if you haven't already, a change in documentation and stationery and all the kinds of sometimes trivial things that denote a government. This is now the government of Jack Young. I need to say on a personal note before I take a few questions, you know, I came to city government about 18 months ago, not just to work as a member of Catherine Pugh's administration, but really to work for the city, to work for the taxpayers of Baltimore City. And my commitment in that regard is unshaken. I have to say, though, that in the 18 months that I had to work closely with Catherine Pugh, I saw a woman, a politician, an elected official who was absolutely dedicated to this city, to its people, to lifting up the vulnerable. And I'm very sad. I didn't think I would get emotional, but Some of you may recall, I didn't know Kathy Pugh before I joined her administration. And you may remember that I said no twice before I said yes. And I was just seized by her commitment to the city. And I know that this has been a very difficult period for her, and it continues to be. And I just want people to pray for her, to hope that she comes through this as a whole person, because she is a human being. We're all flawed. So I wish her well. Clearly today, she has done the right thing. Some people think it was a long time coming, and I suppose in a sense it was. But on the other hand, sometimes we have difficulty facing what is in front of us in our lives. And she has succeeded today in doing what she needed to do for the benefit of the city and its people. And we should all appreciate that. So from my perspective, it's onward and upward. The mayor will return shortly, not today, but he will return from Detroit, ready to move the city along. His staff is working even as we speak now to put in place structures, examine programs to keep the city moving forward. I will be happy to take a few questions, if there are any.
Mr. Solicitor, it sounds like you've known that this would be the case for some time, or incorporate some change documentation, but it also sounds like you had to convince her. It was, quote, what you said, what she needed to do. Is that the case?
Well, I didn't have any direct involvement in her decision-making. I've only spoken to her once in the last 30 days. But I've been in touch with Steve Silverman, her attorney, and I know how hard he has worked with her to get her in a position where she could understand fully what was in front of her and to make the kinds of decisions, tough decisions, life-changing decisions that she had to make. And she's made them, and I don't think it took too long. I think the time was just right for her to do her process with his help.
Did you draft her resignation letter?
I did.
Why did you feel the need to do that?
I'm the city's lawyer.
Mr. Solicitor, you said that all of her